Oh, hello, everybody. We are live. Happy Wednesday at 4 o'clock. This is the 1000 Marriage Questions show, and we will have a lot of them today. I hope everybody's doing fine. I had someone tell me, how can your eyes be that blue? Well, that's just how blue they are. Okay, I'm reaching in the bucket and I'm pulling something. Let's see what it is. Okay, let's see. How do you deal with ungrateful children? That's very interesting. How do you deal with ungrateful children? Well, that's going to be a place to start. So let me go up to the opening and let's start the show. 1000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. All right, let's bring her in. We know her, we love her. She's a professional. I talked to her about on TV this week. Hello, Donna Wilburn.
Hello, Brad Tassell.
So, how do you deal? You know what? Before I do other things, how do you deal with ungrateful children?
You trained them that way.
Yes, exactly. You trained them that way. That's why they're ungrateful. And
Yeah.
children are children. I try to tell people all the time, why does my kid do that? Because they're children. That's why if they
I
were
tell
little enough.
parents, if you don't want entitled kids, then don't give them things for free. We all should earn in some way or another the privileges and bonuses and things that we get. So I do see a problem. I do have it a lot. Is parents who just give children rewards and privileges and they don't even verbally connect it to earning anything. So I guess just children should think they get stuff just because they're them.
But also, in a way, can people think their children are ungrateful only because they don't respond the way you think they should respond? Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah, because there's a thing called codependency, and codependency is a person who I call it over helps more than they should be helping. So they help so much. And then when they want help or want something and the other person doesn't do that much, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't do that. Like, I've done this much for you and blah, 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 blah. But really, it's the codependent person is going above and beyond healthy helping into pathological helping.
Well,
So
there's a
that
there's
happens a
a
lot.
there's a racist term called tiger mom. If you know that it's kind of a racist term, and they aim it mostly at a lot of time Asian women. And I think a lot of mothers, you could say this about Italian, grandmothers and mothers, and it's all the same with and it's that constant on top of you, telling you exactly how you're going to do it and what you better do, and how ungrateful you are when they respond poorly to being browbeaten constantly.
Yeah, in this field, we call it over controlling parents. That's controlling, and all it does is make your child feel like they can't do anything and that they need to depend on you for everything, and they'll grow up to be very anxious, irresponsible people.
They're
So,
helicopter parents.
yeah, helicopter parents is a version of over control, but that one is more like anxious, trying to protect, like make sure your child doesn't fall down, and oh my gosh, they're touching this and touching that. Controlling parents are more like the child has to do things their way or up to their standard, how they think it should be done, and the child can't do anything right on their own at all.
What I did was I just wrapped my daughter in bubble wrap when she was 5, and she will get out of that when she's 32. And so that's good. So she falls down, does everything, but she's in the bubble wrap. So
At all, yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. So that leads me right into the question that we got added from last week to the bucket. So, and we'll do this. Hey, anybody out there, if you want to add a question to the bucket, put it in the comments. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com and send it to us. Send it to Donna at Donna Wilburn 65 at Gmail.
Donna.wilburn65@gmail.com.
65, is that because you were born in 1965, or that's just a number?
What are you saying?
I'm saying, were you born in 1960? No.
Yes, I was born in 60.
So it should be Donna Wilburn 84.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, are you ready? Here we go. I won't say the name because I never do. I need help. I am raising a 5-year-old grandchild, but do not have custody. We have a great routine until she goes to dad's about once a month. And then behaviors get really out of control, biting, hitting the walls, very bossy. Then, about once a week, her mom comes home and sends us into another tailspin. I need some help. I'm seeking counseling for her due to COVID, but it's hard to get in. And I'm trying to find recommendations. So can you guys discuss this today? Of course we can. So let's make it not about this specific thing, but about what happens a lot. You've got a lot of grandparents raising their kids, but the kids go to dad's every once in a while or see mom every once in a while. And when they come back, they're terrors for a while.
So typically you got to look at a child's behavior as a symptom. Okay. It's kind of like the barometer of where they're at internally. And anytime a child is biting, angry, resistant, controlling, that's a stressed out kid. That is a very stressed out little kid. So it's not about, oh, their parent is so terrible and ruining our routine, which sometimes people think that's the reason. That is not a reason. A child can adjust to different routines. They go to school, there's different routines there. They go to a friend's house, there's different routines there. That doesn't cause a child to be all upset and angry. What seems to be causing it is only seeing their parent once a month. For whatever reason, the adults have their reasons, but to the child, I only get to see my parent once a month. So the majority of the month they're going to be sad. Then they're going to see their parent. Then they're going to have to leave their parent and be sad again. Going back to that reality is not going to be fun. So that's called transitional stress. And that is a child who's having a hard time with saying goodbye to somebody that they want to be connected to. That's what I would say. Well, and I work with that here in town. Like I'm specifically a court appointed children's therapist for custody issues and high conflict divorce issues. So I work with this topic a lot, and people want to blame the child's feelings on a lot of different things. But I have to tell you, even in the best of situations, a child does not like saying goodbye to
so much fun and so it sometimes, or the dad doesn't show up, or it's all these feelings. There's an abandonment concept in there too.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's very, very sad. And that's why I tell parents we really have to do all we can to maintain safe and healthy contact for the child. The child doesn't understand things the way that adults do. They take everything personally. So when they don't get to see a parent, they immediately think it's because of them. No matter what you tell them, it's not because of you. It's not because of you. The child thinks it's because of them.
And we're not talking about there being abuse involved on any side, that they're coming back this way because something is happening that's abusing them. But it's just so difficult. And there's one important thing that I'd like to say is that when they come back, there is a you said transition. There's a transition time they need. So when they come back, if you're immediately on them to get back on task and pick up everything, and you better get on they don't have that in them because they're children.
And I tell parents, like, it's very stressful. It's very upsetting. Sometimes parents can get the feeling, if you have a really high stress job and then you go on vacation and you have to go back to work, that first day at work, you're not going to be the best worker. It's going to take a minute. It takes a child from a couple hours to like 3 days to adjust and get back in the groove, especially when there's a long amount of time between visits. So you can be nice about it.
Yeah. Well, that's what was crazy, because I got a message on this that said, for the next couple of days when she comes back, she won't pick up her toys. She won't make her bed. She won't. Well, of course not. And why are you asking her to do this? Why are you hoisting all these tasks?
Give them a break for a minute.
Give them a break for a minute too. So brilliantly said. Thank you very much. Now, one more thing that's going on before, and I'll grab another question after this, is something that's going on here, and I think a lot of couples may be going through is at our house. So yesterday, my wife was trying to download some pictures, and she was doing it, and then it stopped working, and she just overly mad about it. And I went in and said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "This is not working, blah, blah." And I said, "Well, let's do this and fix it." And then she walked in and she goes, "You know what? I'm just angry today. I have nothing to be angry about, but I'm angry today. And I want you to know I'm not angry at you." So what are you telling couples about this nondescript anger that just shows up?
Yeah, I had a session just yesterday. I was trying to explain it, and so the way that I was explaining it is like, imagine that you're like a lion in a cage. No matter how pretty that cage is, no matter how big the yard is where you can step out, you know you're in a cage. You know and we're a smart creature. We know we're being hobbled right now, and it's super frustrating. They call it allostatic load is what they call it. It's like a subconscious perceptive stress. As much as we try to entertain ourselves or watch Netflix, or a lot of people are drinking a lot of alcohol, no matter how much you try to numb this, your subconscious knows that you're trapped, that your world is you're not free right now to be who you want to be. And that bugs us. Deep down inside, it bugs us. But a lot of folks don't really even like know it. So they're just like going around doing their business and they don't know why, but they're just irritated. They can't even tell why, but they are. That's what's happening, is this subconscious perception that we do not have freedom right now. No matter how pretty and nice you make it, we know we don't.
Well, I have to tell everybody that I'm not suffering from this because I never did anything in the first place. So really, I go out and I wear a mask and a face shield, by the way, and I'm still doing everything I've always done. I just don't have, flying out to cruise ships. And after 32 years of stand-up, I miss stand-up, but it's not that big a deal. And being home is something that I've never gotten to do. So being home, except for anything financial, which we're okay. If that was, because think about the financial burden that's bearing on people too, is that I'm not feeling that because of my situation, but I can understand, especially when you have that financial burden on you too, that can really take a toll.
Or multiple kids in the house all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day.
Especially young ones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now here's funny. My daughter is a very homebody anyway. We're trying to get her out more. Hey, you can go. Nah, you just sit in the house. Nah, I love it. She's home all day. I love it. Be home all day.
Good for her.
I know. Okay. I'm pulling something else. Let's see. Here it is. If you can see the writing. Oops, I see the S word. What's the best excuse? Oh boy. Okay. This is going to be a huge one. And don't answer yet because I'm going to take a quick break after I read this, if that's okay. I'm going to do a quick little break and we can talk about this in a second. What's the best excuse to tell your kids when they catch you having sex? Okay, don't talk.
Voted Michiana's #1 restaurant, Doc Pierce's will reopen soon. From now until then, we are offering a $10 bonus card that never expires for all gift card purchases of $50. Go to docpierces.com to get your card today. There's no limit. You can get one bonus card for every $50, two for $100, etc. Or call 574-255-7737. Leave a message. Now check out the fine print.
Hi.
Hi.
I hope you're enjoying 1,000 Marriage Questions, and if so, you can become a friend of the show by donating $10, $5, $1 to keep us up and running. Or you can get some silly and fun merch from the show, t-shirts from the bucket that are a sure conversation starter, and Brad Tassell's best-selling book, You Did It Where, The Strangest Places People Have Sex. Just go to the website, virtualcomedyshow.com, and click shop.
So have you gotten the Strangest Places People Have Sex book?
I have not, but I think that can be attached to this question that you're asking. So that might be helpful to have.
We'll talk about that later, but no, that's a book. Someday we'll talk about the book. But so when we talk about children, and let's admit it, lots of people, most of us in our lives that have children have had this happen because they have no boundaries. Your kid's 3, they're walking in the bathroom when you're going to the bathroom. They're walking in the and being knocked out about it too much is just going to be detrimental to everybody. So in my show, when people ask this question, I always say, no, you're thinking of this wrong. We have to make excuses. If they're knocking on the door, and this is, by the way, a little untoward. So when they're knocking on the door, you get up immediately, open the door naked, maybe with a condom hanging from you, and you start pounding your foot loudly saying, "What do you want?" Yeah. And if you're lucky, a little bit of lube will fly off the condom and hit them in the cheek.
That's called How to Traumatize Your Child.
I know. That's the comedy. That's the comedy.
Trauma, morbid humor. That would be terrible.
Okay, so excuses. What are the best excuses? Now, do you have? There are great excuses like we're wrestling. Mama and I are wrestling, and but you don't want to say that because then they might wrestle with their cousin. Right. Hey, Jean Ann and I are just wrestling like you and Mama.
Yeah. We might not need to make that like a common playful game that we all play.
Well, Mama dropped something and she was just bending down to pick it up.
You got all kinds. I think it depends on the age of the child. Like you can totally play it off to someone really young. Hopefully though, as parents, you could be a little responsible regarding when you're fooling around and, have some safeguards in place. Like you can lock the door. You can train your children to know what mommy and daddy time means don't knock on the door unless it's important. You can wait till they're sleeping or napping. There are ways to avoid that situation from happening. So let's say you've done all these precautions and still it happened. Do not act angry. Do not act angry.
Especially, yes.
Just nonchalantly and then kind of gauge what the child thinks was going on. Maybe go with that. Like, were you guys just, getting ready for a shower? Yeah, that's what we were doing, getting ready for a shower.
Well, there's things they see. Wait a minute. There's things they might see that are not getting ready for a shower.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? It all depends. You can be like, mommy and daddy, you have to have the talk eventually, which I really wouldn't have a talk about sex or procreation too much until at least 10 or 11 years old. Mm-hmm. I call it developmentally appropriate information. So really it depends on the child, but I've heard a lot of kids walking in on their parents and I can't say that I've ever heard anyone be glad.
No, kids hate it. They hate it a lot more than you do. And they are not happy about it. And I agree with you on something is that kids under 10 having some big sex talk is now, I believe it's very important when your kids, because I get this question all the time about, when do you have the talk with kids? I had one, it may come out at some point. It said, how do you talk to a 15-year-old girl about sex and dating? And I said, well, if you wait till she's 15, you're going to do it at Lamaze class. Yeah. But
probably a little late.
Yeah, that might be a little late. But when kids are under 10, especially I would say girls and stuff like that, they need to know about their body and that it's their body and what can and never should happen to their body.
That's not boundaries. You're teaching them about boundaries. It doesn't have to really be about intimacy or intimate parts. There is a thing called private parts or under your suit are your private personal parts. But you still, even then, don't want to make it scary. It's just everyone has a body and we have a right to our own bodies, and certain things are more personal than others that we show the public and certain things we don't.
And you don't have to be uncomfortable.
No.
like our pediatrician did a great job with our daughter starting really, really young when he had to examine her. And he said, look, I'm going to do this, but let me tell you, nobody does blah, blah, blah. And he really made it very apparent of what happens. And you tell your parents if anybody else or anybody, and did a really good job. And we kept up with that until, then she was, I think, I hope they don't listen to this. She was maybe 13 or so when she did this, what we're talking about now. And she was just, we just went in and I said, hey, I guess knocking is a good idea.
There you go.
The door was shut and it was locked, but the lock didn't catch. And I said, I guess knocking is a good idea from now on. And that was the end of it.
Yeah, we locked the door.
No, we locked the door. It just didn't catch.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The door didn't get all the way, for some reason, it just didn't get all the way latched. Like whatever that thing here, it's almost like sex. That thing that goes in the door didn't go in the door. It was
not all the way.
Not all the way. So, although another problem my wife and I have when it doesn't get in all the way sometimes. Anyway, but hey, good night. Woo, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. So now that leads me to another question on this topic that is also in here that may come out someday, is that people ask me all the time, can you have sex with your child in the room? And because think about this, you're in a hotel, your kids are little bitty, and we used to, when she was little and is totally asleep, we would try to do this kind of, kind of undercover kind of thing, and with watching, and then it was kind of cute and fun, we thought.
Okay. Well, just if you want to take that risk, I prefer the child not experience your intimacy. So it's your parents are, and you can try to.
They're 3. They're being quiet. They're asleep. There's no experiencing it. If there was any experience, it would end. If there's any even move, or if they even turn, you stop. You're done. And you just, and it's So I don't know. I just think that's fine when they're little. You're not gonna do it when they can be aware immediately when they wake up. You're done. After that. But when they're 2 and 3 and stuff like that, they're not going to be aware anyway.
And that would be fun.
Are you judging me right now?
Totally.
I can't believe you're judging me right now.
Flying across the screen right now. Like, can you not? Can you just go a day without? Can you just not? Do you have to every day? What do you like?
Every day? This is every once in a while on a vacation. You're look.
That day,
you calm down.
No, you calm down. You're the one who can't go a day without it.
No, this is 15 years ago.
Okay,
so
chill.
Look, you're at Disney for a week. It's day 4.
You're floating? What?
I need people, when you listen to this later, and people, I need you to send me a message and tell Donna that this is fun and cute. I remember there was a documentary on about a family, the guy and his wife, they had 5 kids. They all lived in a camper van, and they would just, you guys are going to know what it's like to see your parents.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible.
Oh, stop.
And then your kids' pillows around their head.
Oh, goodness gracious. I don't. Although I do know somebody who, and there's probably quite a few people who take their children to nudist camps with them.
Oh, I did the.
Not sure. I guess it's like if the kids are okay with it, but if a kid's not okay with it, we might want to reconsider that.
Well, when they're raised with it, even if they're not into it, it seems more normal, I guess. I did the nude cruise on Carnival.
There you go. Did you have to stand up nude?
No, God, no. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. I'm not doing that. I shower in a bathing suit.
It does not have to be nude.
No, of course not. No, matter of fact, that's what's the funny thing is only about 1/3 of the people are nude at any one time. At the shows, About a third of the people were nude. Some of the women just had their bottoms covered, and just had the top out. Some people were kind of just wrapped a little, they were only nude. The only
know that was a thing. Okay.
What?
I did not even know there has been a thing as a nude cruise.
Oh, every year they do. They buy 12 days on ships, and they're lovely people. They're lovely. And there is zero sexual about this in any way. It's your Aunt Marge and Uncle Bill. And it is just, matter of fact, they have such specific rules, you would not even believe it. The no sunglasses. There are no sunglasses on this ship.
I want to see where your eyes are looking. Where are your eyes looking?
That's right. There's no gawking. There's no staring. There's bins of
dropping.
there's bins of towels everywhere. You cannot sit on anything without having a towel down. But they were the shows were amazing, and you had to be over 18 to be there. But I noticed near the end of the cruise, I went to the gym, and I thought. And I went to the gym every day, but this was when I noticed it, because I wondered, are they going to work out nude? And the answer is basically no. I don't think I saw anybody in there. They didn't work out much at all. But I was in there and I saw some girls that were probably in their mid-20s, and I thought they were the dancers on the ship. They were just beautiful young girls. And I thought, and they weren't nude in any way. And I thought, I have not seen these girls anywhere on the ship, and they didn't work on the ship. And I thought, you know what? They're with their parents who are nudists. They're not, but they thought, well, I'll go on a cruise because I'm used to these people anyway. And this is a chance for me to be on a cruise, so with some of their friends.
I can see it. As voluntary, fine. But if you're going to have your, I don't know, child, teenager, tween, whatever, I don't know if I would force the issue.
Little kids, again, this is 18 and over, but you're right. I'm not big on the whole family nudist movement myself. I'm not going to, you can contact me and tell me how you feel about the nudist movement, but I will say they were lovely people and a lovely audience. Now, okay, you're a therapist. This is the one though, that I thought is creepy. I sat with about 6 of these folks one day, and all in different forms of dress. And I said to them, you know what? Because you get over it in about 5 minutes. I just, nude, not nude, I didn't care. I wasn't getting nude, but I didn't care. I didn't have to look. It's just people, it's just bodies. So I didn't mind any of the nudity, but the one thing that really creeped me out was men with a t-shirt and no pants.
Right? You want to be nude, but only the bottom half of you?
There's something creepy about a man. Now, because little boys run around like that sometimes when they're 2 and 1 or 3, they'll run around. And I just have this creepy dude with his infantile fantasy about being a little boy being seen. And all the people I was sitting with agreed with me, the nudists.
Even the nudists said that.
No, they were all nudists I was sitting with, and they all said, you're right. Those guys, they creep us out too. There's something creepy about them. So I want anybody out there who lives this way, who thinks they're cool when they're naked from the bottom. Because no, man, does your husband go to bed in a t-shirt and underwear?
Maybe t-shirt and underwear, yes.
No, just like a t-shirt and just underwear. That's
boxer brief things.
Well, no, boxer briefs. No, like boxer underwear. Not like little bikini underwear or.
I don't know many guys who wear bikini underwear.
Yeah, but even so, they're not going to do it with just a t-shirt, or guys will usually have nothing on top, and it's more of a woman thing. And I know I'm stereotyping to have a t-shirt and just underwear on. There's something in there that's creepy to me about a dude that's doing that.
Red flag. You're like, something's wrong there.
Yeah, you're not going to hang around my kid if that's you.
And I haven't done much research into the culture and the thought process and belief system and all that of nudists. So I can't really speak on their behalf at all, or what might be going on, or what the motivation is, or anything. I just believe it should be voluntary. That's what I believe.
Oh, and they do too. And they don't want anybody there that's not part of it. And again, not nude all the time. Some people are, but mostly just whenever they feel like it. And at the pool, which is where I avoided mostly, was the pool. Although one time I was sitting in the wherever the Lido deck eating, and I turn over and I just look, and there was a woman laying on outside the window, laying on a deck chair, like with her feet at my end. And I was just like, oh God, I'm done eating. I gotta go. I can't. I gotta go.
Too much info for you.
Yeah, it was just more than I could handle at the time. I don't know why. I'm a prude, I guess. But again, I really didn't. But they're lovely people. I'm not disparaging people who like to doing that. I think they should take cruises. Now, when we get to the whole concept of swinging and all that, then I've got a problem. I don't know if I told you this, and we'll finish with this today, and we'll start with something next week.
Las Vegas, right?
What?
I live in Las Vegas.
I know. I was going to tell you about my show in Las Vegas.
They're pretty open about relationships in this town.
Well, okay. So I had my show Comic Therapy at the Royal, and one day they come up to me on a Thursday and they said, okay, so this weekend, what do you want to do? And they're putting up sheets all through the lobby, squaring off all the lobby into different sections. And I'm like, what are you doing? They said, well, the swingers group is taking over the entire hotel for the weekend. What do you want to do? And I said, I'm going home. The show's off.
Do you think you would be bombarded? Everybody asking you out? No.
I don't think that at all. But they're going to be everywhere and in and out and doing stuff. And that's creepy to me. I think there's something that I'm not a fan.
You go. It's different. So I have learned about that culture and different people's perspectives about having multiple partners and all that. And they say in this field, they're like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if people are happy and enjoying themselves, but if either party starts to have difficulty and then something needs to be worked on, maybe changing that up, maybe not. But yeah, in my field, you have to be really careful to not impose your own judgment and values on someone else's relationship or culture, because really it might be working for somebody and it's helping them be a happy person, a happy, healthy person, not a depressed, addicted, whatever person. So if that helps and everybody's, once again, voluntarily participating and comfortable, then that has to be how they want to do it.
Well, I know, I totally believe you, and I totally think that's fine. And I agree. When I was doing my master's stuff in the counseling behavioral science, we had a lot of discussions about that we have trouble in America when we go to counsel people who go through tragedies in other parts of the world, not trying to inflict them with what we think they should be doing. We need to get them to be the best them that they can be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
and sometimes the best them is a lot of them all together with each of them having a good time.
Oh my God. I can't. Hey,
don't.
One quick question before we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Why is height such a big issue with these guys? Men are taller. Why do they feel like they have to be lorded over you that they're taller? A friend of mine asked me that.
I don't think that's a general thing. In fact, like some very tall men are not thrilled with being so tall. They don't appreciate comments and, oh gosh, you're so tall. Like they're not enjoying themselves. Yeah. But I think it's probably that question is coming from an insecure person, maybe someone insecure about their height, which there's many different heights in the world. You don't have to be insecure about your height, but it sounds like this is coming from a person that is. And when a person is insecure, they perceive like someone may be lording it over them, even if they're really not.
Yeah, or and men are all different. I would say it's just the opposite. Men who are shorter have a lot of times try to be more dominant because they're shorter and they're feeling insecure because of that.
Absolutely. That insecurity, and really there's no, like, a little education wise, insecurity, that mentality of feeling less than, actually the seed is planted when you're like 2 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if that seed is in there, if you go through something that plants that seed, it could be you're tall, you're short, you have lots of hair, you have no hair, you're this color, you're that color. If that insecurity perspective, and they call it ego trauma is where it comes from, if it's planted, you're going to find something to be insecure about.
Well, and especially with height, don't let people put things on you. Just be you.
Like you're a table?
That's right.
Like, don't let someone put something on your head like you're a bar stool that they can just set their on your head.
Don't let them put their vibe on you, man.
Oh, I thought you meant literally. Don't let them put something on your head.
No.
Like you're a bar stool.
You're you. You're your size. Be strong, man.
Don't let someone make you feel insecure about something. But really, insecurity is internal. If you're not insecure, nobody can make you feel insecure. If you're insecure, you're going to find something to be insecure about.
So they're not doing anything. You're taking it. So, all right. Well, Donna, how do they get a hold of you? Because they want to.
Donna.wilburn65@gmail.com is probably best way. You can look me up on Facebook, message me on Facebook. I like to talk, so ask me questions. I don't mind at all.
And you are taking patients. They don't call them patients, do they?
No. Well, yeah, clients.
Clients.
I'm always taking new clients. I'm solution focused. I'm not the kind like Freud seeing people for years and years.
That's why I wanted to use you for this, because you're solution focused. And I always believe we need to work towards solutions and not just get it out and blather endlessly for the rest of your life about things. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it, everybody. Say goodbye.